in a situation where, like, you have an adult special needs child who doesn't fit tiny, stupid camper bunks, or you need a literal mother-in-law suite. RVs don't normally service those sorts of situations. This one does. Welcome, everybody. Josh RV Nerd of Bish's RV here with a very interesting, it was kind of a sleeper hit last year. It kind of slid under the radar, and they improved it a little bit this year, and I'm like, I got to put this sucker on camera. This new Imagine floor plan not only has all these awesome 2025 updates going on here, but it does some things that you just can't readily find out there. So it's a private full bedroom slide in the back with tons of storage. We have a very reasonable living room kitchen kind of combo area, but it gives us some campsite window coverage so you can keep an eye on things, direct facing entertainment. And the dinette actually has a floating bench on the back, so if you want to be able to scoot that sucker around, you can do that. It gives you a lot of multi-purpose function in a pretty compact space. They've enhanced the kitchen storage this year, but what kind of jumped at me when this floor plan finally clicked to me is when I walked in the front room. Not only does it have a private bedroom all the way in the back, it has a private bunk room in the front, but that doesn't really do it justice because bunks are usually 70 to 74 inches long, not very big. An adult-sized person rarely fits on them. This has wall-to-wall bunks, and being an 8-foot wide trailer, you've got pretty close to 8-foot long bed sleeping spaces in this. So if you have actual like adult-sized teenagers or a special needs kid, or dad lives with us now and we like to take him camping, this is a rig that can literally take the whole family regardless of how big everybody is. And that is a very rare find and a very cool thing, I think. This is certainly not going to be the one for everybody out there, but something people don't realize, like if your kids are 8, 9 years old now, and you want an RV that you don't have to replace 3 or 4 years from now because the kids are going to get big and start playing volleyball and basketball and every other thing, this is a floor plan you can grow into like a pair of shoes. And you can have this thing for 10, 12 years. When the kids finally grow up and move out, you can swap into that smaller, easier to tow couples model. In the meantime, this can take care of your family. This could be your second camper the first time. Now, you may have noticed while we were outside, we are in a live dealer display here. This is where the manufacturer puts all the cool new fun things out to look at. And as a result, you know, we may have a guest at some point. So I don't like lock the door on some other dealer because, you know, they're here to accomplish a goal. Anyway, I just kind of wanted to let you know. This floor plan's sort of interesting. Now, this looks like what I call a pretend U-dinette. But if you look at the back, you notice how that's got like a cloth face and that's wooden right there. That's because it's actually a floating bench in the back. So if you want to get that out of the way and have a more spacious kind of 2-bench dinette that more people can slather around, you can. As it sits, it's a very functional 3-person dinette, but you'd have to move the table around and do the hokey pokey to get to the back bench there. It's also very social. You know, if you're watching the game, but you're also kind of watching the kids or something like that over here, you could do that. Now, depending on the size of the kids, you could have them sitting there eating while you're sitting over here eating, depending on what you do as a family. You also have blackout roller shades to privatize all the windows here. Now that I say that, it is a little bit lacking on window coverage. Under, like you see where they kind of put like a jacket hanger. That is a big blank wall. It almost makes me feel like there could have been a window there. But again, you might be hanging a coat or something over it that would block the window anyway. But I don't know. What's your 2 cents on that? There's no real wrong answers here. Now, we're in full Imagine. So, like in the kitchen, we get solid surface kitchen counters. And this floor plan technically existed last year. But it is not last year's camper. Last year, it had 2 things for kitchen counter space. It had jack and it had squat. And what they did is they moved the pantry around. And what you have is a like lower cabinet pantry over here. And they put countertop space over the top of it. So that could be like serving space, prep space. You've got a little bit of dish space over there. I'm going to come back in a minute and get the kitchen all blown wide open for you here. But overall, I think the improvement was really smart there. Now, the Tron lighting makes it very obvious that we do have a barreled ceiling inside. That's found only in the full Imagine family. So there are some differences here that you won't find on some of the other products. I do like how in the front kitchen area, they have some power outlets right down here at countertop level, although I don't like when people leave their garbage laying around. That annoys me. It annoys me to no end. We're going to come back to all that. I wanted to get you a good look at this front room, though, because I think this is one of the focal point of the RV. If you don't like this, you're probably not going to buy this RV, so let's get in here. When I first saw this, I was like, okay, it's a front bunkhouse, blah, blah, blah. Now, I liked the window coverage. Upper and lower bunks both have breeze across windows, which last year they did not. They only had windows over here. I like the little mini ladder to get me up top so I don't necessarily have to climb on the bottom bunk to get up here. These are not a 60-inch wide bed, but they are some of the longest beds I've seen in a long time. They go literally from wall to wall. So if you have adult-sized people camping with you, they can actually fit, and very few bunkhouses can say that. Now, the trick is, this bunk is so long, without using a wide-angle lens, I literally can't get the whole bunk in the frame at one time. But I thought, I'm going to climb up here as a big chicken nugget dad bod adult. I'm going to shove myself up in the nose of this thing, and you can see I can still, like, sit up here and do the Burt Reynolds pose for you. But notice how you're still seeing my feet, but the bunk keeps going. Like, I mean, if I lay down here, I actually have room. Like, I have room for, like, tons of pillows and stuff like that. Bunks normally do not fit adults. This right here immediately put this floor plan into a completely different category for me. Interesting to me that they use one long window shade for both of those windows, but I guess if you want one open, you probably want the other open or closed or whatever. I instantly also went, I need a place to charge phones and stuff around here. Well, yeah, they thought of that too. They also have triple dresser storage here with a handy shoe garage going on down below it. So I'm going to very carefully close that. There you have it. Nice little, flip-flop shop down there. And, of course, sliding pocket privacy door here. Now, we're going to crack open all the kitchen storage in just a minute. But you see, you've got the black, smart control panel here. But you have this new remote control. That is basically the command unit, the remote control command unit for a lighting package. It is dimmable, but it's also warmable. This isn't some kind of weird camera magic. If it's early morning, late at night, or if you just want the warmer glow, it's just a push of a button away, or you can lighten and brighten it up however you want to, and every shade in between those two colors. So they give you a lot of very interesting control over your lighting package in this now. I thought that was very, very cool. And again, this is our pantry. It's not a vertical cabinet style pantry. It's a slide open kind of lower pantry, which is unconventional, but I do think still effective. Working our way around here, as long as we're looking at all the storage, you've got that 10 cubic foot, 12 volt compressor fridge right over there. Very traditional microwave. And I will say that stovetop is absolutely packed back into that corner. But there's actually a little more counter space back here than is readily obvious because they got this poster that I can't get a hold of there. There you go. So you can see all the countertop space you have there. Now, there's not exactly power outlets back there, so how you use that, I'm not exactly sure. Under the stovetop, they've got their pots and pans drawer with the handy little adjustable light bright pegs, so you can really kind of convert this around into whatever you want. Every floor plan also now includes a handy wastebasket space, and I had to keep this door partially open like this or closed so that I could walk my way through. But every floor plan where they possibly can, they're also getting very good about including like a little utensil organizer and some handy little things like that. Like they're starting to really elevate their kitchens here. Notice too that countertop extension over there. So not only did they add the counter space thanks to the new location of the horizontal instead of the vertical pantry, but just the fine details, the stuff that you're going to use every day, they're just being more cognizant of that, I don't know that it really matters a lot on this floor plan, but if you are so inclined, you can really pivot the TV around. You could, if you were standing at the bathroom sink brushing your teeth, flip it the other way. I don't think there'd be a lot of benefit to that, obviously. But maybe if you are standing over here in the kitchen and you want to kind of keep an eye on the game or something like that, you have a couple options there. Now remember, I told you how that is a traditional 2-bench dinette that has a floating rear kind of ottoman sort of thing. So the other thing is you might notice that table is free floating. So it really is easy to sort of shift that sucker around however you want. Now, depending on how many people you want to sit, this is actually the arrangement that will set the most people at the dinette, because you can set 4 people at the 2 benches plus either 2 small kids or 1 adult on the little floating ottoman here. What's also kind of cool is there's a little bit of hidden storage inside that as well. And hey, when it comes to storage, every ounce counts. I should probably quit using that phrase. I think it confuses some folks who maybe English isn't their first language, the American version of English as it is. I've had some folks from overseas who watch these videos. Why do Americans measure their storage in ounces? They don't. It's just a silly thing that I say. I like to share my opinions on RVs, so I want you to understand this is just what I think. On a family model, on a bunk model, I'm not personally a major fan of a walk-through bathroom. A walk-through bathroom has a lot of awesome benefits. It actually allows the RV to stay shorter, which on a model like this with a bed slide and a private bunk room and everything else is very important. You can see my space around that porcelain foot flush stool. Super fluffy friendly, by the way. But on a family model like this with a lot of people using the shower, using the toilet, you will more frequently encounter a situation in which you are potentially locked off and blocked off from getting in and out of your bedroom. I think that's kind of annoying sometimes. Headroom in the shower is awesome. Now, the RV has a 6.5-foot wall, which normally my head wouldn't fit. But because of the barreled ceiling and the location of the skylight, I never had even an ounce of problems there. I say the word ounce too much, don't I? By the way, imagine even the bathroom countertops are a solid surface. And that, again, is just not something that you encounter much. Now, back here, we have a full true... Well, I keep saying that also. We have a true queen bed in the slide. So 60 by 80 queen bed slide. And it's not some weird folding Murphy bendy bed mattress mutant kind of thing. It's just a 60 by 80 queen. Great window coverage here. Again, we have the blackout roller shades. Also, I want to point out, I really like how they accomplish the window treatments. It's just a covered roller. It's simple, it's clean, it's minimalist, it's effective. I don't need it to be anything. Come on. I don't need it to be anything more than that. And I love that they didn't try to overthink it, and they didn't put these big boxy valances on that are held together by a machine gun full of staples or anything like that. Also, before I forget, this model does have a second entry door for the bedroom. It has a full viewing window. That does have from the factory privacy shade built into it. I just don't have that slid up. Now, this is what I'm calling a toothpick door. It's a thinner door. It's not quite as big as some of the other ones. And this was interesting to me. They did a split cabinet setup to give you a bonus window on the camp side. I don't know. What do you think about that? And while you are or are not leaving me a comment, I'll crack open the rest of the storage here. You've got 6 big dresser drawers going down here. They all fully extend like on the far side there. The top 2 over here I left partially extended just so you could really kind of hopefully see all the depth of everything. Additionally, easy lift storage under the bed. Now, the way that Imagine tends to do this, they will very often include this extra little kind of sliding shelf thing here so that you can sort of have a little bit of a 2-stage kind of storage access there. It's just extra little bonus space because a lot of the cargo that you tend to put under a bed tends to be smaller stuff. It's things that you don't always need, to stack vertically. So repurposing the height of the storage under the bed can be really kind of handy. Now, I've never closed this up for travel and road mode. I'm going to make a prediction. I think the kitchen's going to be great. The bunks are great. But it's going to be 2-stage. I think we got to go through the other door to get through, but let's verify. Okay, my prediction was wrong, and I'm very happy about it. Yeah, obviously the kitchen is going to be readily accessible. I'm standing by the door. The bunks are behind me. No sweat there. But there's a benefit of the walk-through bathroom here I did not predict. It has a bigger, wider door. So when this big, deep rack and pinion slide closes, I can still walk through this thing. From either entry door, you can walk from front to back to front again. And where that can be really handy is the door back here in the bedroom doesn't have a set of more ride steps. So sometimes at a travel stop or while the RV is in storage, you can't get a set of MORryde folding steps down, or Lippert steps, or whatever brand your RV happens to have. But the skirted steps, like are on this bedroom door, those are readily available. I'm kind of I'm dumbfounded in the most positive way that they were able to accomplish this level of near perfect road mode access with two big slides. So we've got your converter fuse box down there, readily accessible. The dinette's not in a slide, so it's going to be travel functional. Despite the fact that this big giant sucker is really made for getting there, or being there rather, it's actually pretty good at getting there, and I like it. So just to give you a size demo, I'm walking. Okay, I gotta do it barely, little bit of a shift to get through that, but nothing severe. I've definitely gone through tighter. I've gone through spaces that hurt my belly to get through there. Don't got to do that here. So you appreciate how we actually take the time to close the slides and show you all this stuff. Hit that subscribe button. Leave us a note that, hey, appreciate it, guys. Keep up that good work, and we're going to keep on rolling. That was an awesome, pleasant surprise. Now, the thing is, when we're in a big, long, multi-slide model like this, I don't think the Ford freaking Ranger need apply. You're probably going to want to be more in the way of a 3/4 ton type pickup for moving something like this around. She is long and strong and down to get the camping on. That's what this RV is right here. Now, working our way from the front to the back and up and down and in between, of course, power tongue jack doing the heavy lifting for us here. No, we're in a full Imagine, and the easiest way to determine that it's not one of the little brother sister members of the family is the full candy coated nose cap. Now, right now, you're looking at those like, futuristic Tron lights off the front of this. They're about to go through another wave of updates where those will actually turn into turn signal markers. So they'll be white most of the time, and then when you flick on your turn signal, they will blink amber so that, other people have an idea of what's happening on the road, which I think is kind of cool. I love the big baggage stores. They've gone to drop frames, front storage compartments across the board on these the big full Imagines right here. And on the other side over there, you've got that enclosed docking center. Unfortunately, I do not have an easy way of getting to it from here. Down below, we've got our stinky, slinky sewer tube. It looks like mounted on the bottom of the drop frame. It feels a little low to the ground. I kind of feel like maybe that should have been slid back just a little bit, but I guess it's maybe not the end of the world. The underbelly's enclosed. It's forced air heated. They got some radiant barrier layering down there to give you a very respectable extended season capacity. Now, as we work our way over here, we've got those Goodyear Endurance radials. Imagine's been doing that for a few years. You see the red calipers. That's telling us that this has anti-lock braking. Imagine started that last year. What you can't overtly see is that these now have anti-sway, electronic anti-sway automatically integrated into them. And full Imagine has upgraded to a fifth wheel grade MORryde suspension package right here. So despite the fact that this thing does have a pretty decent size to it, it actually has some very nice running gear to get you down the road with, some peace of mind and some safety. Now, sometimes people ask, why do they do different steps for the bedroom than the main door? Sometimes when you close the bed slide, if you had the traditional like MORryde folding steps, the steps would be rubbing up all against your bedding, and some people don't really care for that. So that's why they keep these skirted steps here. Not to mention that can again help for some road mode aspects. As we work our way around the back here, on the back side of this sucker, we do have ourselves a 2-inch accessory hitch, which I lack on my own backside, but that's for various reasons. We've also got a 250-pound rated ladder to get you up to the roof. Up on the roof, you now have an enhanced solar package versus last year. So last year, these had 165, 185, something like that, kind of watt Furion package, and they have joined the Go Power team. So it's that, a lot of brands use it, but it's the 200-watt Go Power package and charge controller. Now that is just a battery tender. Now, the thing is, you should be able to slap a second panel up there if you want to expand on that a little bit, and pretty much the entire Imagine family at this point is prepped for inversion. So if you want to add, I think up to a 2,000 watt inverter to operate most of the outlets in the RV, don't quote me on that. Double check that before you go spending your money. I know they're inverter. Eric, quick question. What your inverter prep? What is the maximum wattage that it's prepped for? Is it like 2,000?
It's set up for 2,000.
2,000 watt inverter. That was the fella that does the product. So there we go. We got confirmation just like that. It was kind of driving me crazy. So I did some camper parkour and got over here. I hate not showing anything that I kind of can on camera, but you know, giving you a quick look at your docking center. The other thing I want to be able to check over here were sewer connections. So up front here by the kitchen, literally right under the kitchen, you got your on-demand water heater, and judging by the gauge of that pipe, that is going to be your kitchen gray tank outlet only. Why is that sticking out so far from the camera? I gotta believe that's maybe a prototype thing that's gonna get adjusted. Front slide right here, that is rack and pinion. The rear slide is what's going to be called a slim rack slide. I'll give you a look at that in a minute. That is your exhaust hood right there for your stovetop. So when you are cooking up a storm, you are actually getting a lot of that heat and humidity out of the RV. So this right here, last year Imagine was using a lot of Schwintek slides, and they appear to have just completely stopped using those. They've gone to this slim rack system. I'm going to estimate maybe for service records purposes. Now there is storage under the headboard, and as long as I'm over here, hey, let's just keep on keeping on. Let's get in there. Now what's kind of cool is it is separated from the inside, so it's not like somebody can break into this and easily access the RV from the inside. Don't get me wrong. If they could break into the baggage door, they could still get in from there if they had to, but it's just not easy. And typically, you know, thieves tend to do what's easy and not time consuming because they don't want to stick around and get caught, you know. Now, I love that light right above the dump station here, but this will be for the bathroom. So you've got bathroom, dump in the back. You've got kitchen in the front. And that's probably why the gray water capacity is listed so much higher on this one, because it actually has multiple tanks overall. So what do you think about this? Again, not for everybody, but I love the fact that they're not trying to just build what's going to sell the most copies, but they're like, what do people need? What is the industry not providing? And they're putting that human element into it. So just mad respect for what Imagine's doing here. I'll leave you some links in the description to check for MSRP and availability. We do have discounted sale pricing. You won't be able to see it on our website in the instance of a Grand Design product due to their manufacturer advertising guidelines, basically. But we don't sell for MSRP, but maybe that can at least give you a little bit of a barometer. And in the meantime, looking forward to seeing you the next time around. If you like how we get you this stuff, even the one that isn't just going to be the RV that'll get the most views, you know, if we're always out there looking out for you, hit that subscribe button. We'll catch you next time. Take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.